Alrighty, y'all, we're going to start this video off just a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and go over the deck list and a detailed explanation right at the beginning. So if you guys have already gone the detailed explanation or already know this deck, you guys can skip on ahead to the test hands. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to explain the deck. We're going to do the test hands. We're going to try to be as transparent as possible. We're not going to cherry pick these hands. We're just going to go in about 3 or 4 matches. Kind of depends on how long the video is. And I'll show you the list of the replays, and then we'll go over the replays so you can actually watch and Shadow can explain those test hands. But we're going to go ahead and go over the deck list now, and you can skip on ahead to the test hands if you want.
First, we got Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. You'll always hear me call him Blue Boy because that's just, frankly, an easier way to talk about him. E is one of your only normal summons in the deck. Jackal is another, but you could also just special summon him. Blue Boy is also mandatory too. Jackal, one of your best starters, to be honest. He's easily searched with Institution, and you can remove 3 to summon out Jackal King. And he's not once per turn either, so that's pretty good. Get Magister. Most people just think of him, he's just a high scale, but no, he's actually really, really good. You could summon him from the scale or 1 from your extra deck, so that's 1 negate summon, and then during your opponent's turn, you could summon another negate from the deck. So basically he's a double negate. Survey is your good starter here. You basically always want to see her at start. She basically gets another pendulum, so you can go into Electromite quickly. And we got Abductor. Abductor is, but some people have dropped her, but I really do like her still. She is good for completing your scale and getting, one search with her could be a low scale and a negate to your hand, or anything. Electromite could also put her in the extra deck to complete your scales, and you could link her away for Artemis for draw 2 with knowledge. Garuda is basically pretty important because it's a searchable MST. And if you don't use Into the Void when you're going first, Garuda is another hand trap that can bounce opponent's cards to the hand, gives you follow up to Dark Ruler and droplets.
He's the
We
out to
got
Zeus.
Basilisk.
He's the out to Zeus
Yeah,
as well.
Garuda's a really good out to Zeus. Zeus is so awful to go against. We got Basilisk. Basilisk is such an underrated card. Like, most people don't even know what he does. They mistake him for Medusa, which is a useless card. But Basilisk, basically, it's a searchable draw 1. Also, his monster deck can recycle a Pendulum like Mythical Beast, Jackal, or Cerberus or Jackal King from the extra deck for more fodder. He also helps you go to Chaos Angel too. He's just all around amazing. Jackal King is half of your entire negates. People say he's a brick, but I usually use him to get another monster on the field. We got Endymion, who is the strongest main deck boss monster ever, basically. He also has the most context in the game if you ever want to have a conversation starter. Remove 6 to board rep your opponent. He can negate spell or trap cards. He also floats into a normal spell, and he's a towers, which everybody always forgets every single duel. They try targeting him and they can't. It is hilarious. We get Reflection. Reflection is amazing going second card, and she could be useful going first, but Reflection also could help you out Zeus, because Magister could summon her from the deck. But that's basically what his purpose is. We got Cerberus. We want him at 1 because it really sucks to draw more than 1 copy, and we usually end up getting to him anyway. If we need his banish, we could summon him from the deck. And he's a good starter, but you're better off with him at 1. We got Upstart. It's expensive, but it's basically worth it. You get free counters and everything without losing any card advantage, and it's just an all-around good card to use. Into the Void, it's annoying to top deck this card, but it can be helpful for getting more counters, like a budget version of Upstart. It's good to have both of them still, though, but you got to use it first so you don't draw into a mob, so you have enough cards in your hand to be able to activate it. We got the Spellbook engine now, which is Spellbook of Secrets and Spellbook of Knowledge. They're really good in the deck, not just because it can draw you 2 cards, but because Crowley can search them if you brick on only Pendulums, which can get you guaranteed spell card activations. And if you end up having Knowledge in your opening hand, you just link a level 4 lower spellcaster into Artemis, which can get you a draw 2 anyway. We got Desires. I've been using this card at 1 even when it was at 3, even when it was at 2, because I always seem to draw more than 1. It being at 1 does not affect it at all. People think it's a risky card to use because you might banish everything, but if you just do all your searches first and then use it to draw 2, you basically don't lose anything. And if you have no way to extend, Desires gets you the extra 2 draws anyway, which you would have lost anyway. So Desires is definitely good to use. Any hand with Spell Power Mastery in the hand basically is a good hand. Searches anything like Servant or Citadel, which I like seeing going second. Mastery is also very good for putting a counter on your institution, which Endymion can be able to recycle if you're going second or going first. Mastery is just your best searcher in the whole thing. Then we got Citadel. It's Citadel's also, I've briefly considered putting it to 3, but you never want to see more than 1 typically. But 2 is it's so good. It holds counters. It also allows you to cheat out one of your other effects, like Servant Magister or Abductor or even Reflection, if you don't have the necessary counters. Anytime a spellcaster, a card with the counters destroyed, it gets the counters, and then Citadel just protects itself. Citadel allows you to also play without summoning a monster to the field as well. Since it stores all your counters before a demon can pop the board, it's just really good going second or first card. Institution, I love this card. My friend told me to put it to 1. I'm like, no. I'd use this card at 4 if I could. It is all around amazing. Great starter to search out Jackal. Excellent for holding counters. Excellent for follow-up. It protects itself as well. And I started a duel in one of my streams with 3 of them in the hand, and I got 7 negates out like so fast. It was just amazing. Bestiary, if I was ever going to cut a card, it would probably be a Bestiary, like if Insta-Fusion ever came back. But Bestiary is pretty good for allowing you to put counters really early on, which helps you play around Duel. And also, if your opponent pops it, you get to summon a negate from the deck, unless it's Majestic Star Dragon, apparently. Then we got Call by the Grave. Yeah. Call by the Grave. I don't know why it's only showing 2, because I have 27 copies in the deck. It's weird. It's a glitch, probably. But it's all around great. Not like using cards that rely on your opponent doing stuff, which is why I don't use Tactics. But Call by the Grave, if my opponent doesn't have any hand traps, it still doubles as another negate during my opponent's turn. Which is why Call by the Grave is like one of the only cards that can be usable, even when it's relying on your opponent.
By the way, y'all, the Majestic Star Dragon joke, me and Shadow had to play, and I negated his Bestiary with Majestic Star Dragon. He thought it'd pop. He thought the effect would activate, but it didn't, and I wiped his board. And then, that was GG's.
Yeah, it happened live on stream as well, so I was embarrassed in front of everyone. Chaos Angel is... I get lots of people questioning, how do you summon Chaos Angel? Where's the tuner? First line of a text says, you can treat one light or dark monster you control as a tuner. And the other part says, one on non-tuners, light or dark monsters. So as long as you use light or dark monsters, you can summon it. So I usually use Basilisk and Jackal King to summon it. You could also use Garuda and Jackal King. Chaos Angel is not only good for protection or removal, it actually is very, very good going second if your opponent builds up a really massive board. If you're able to get Jackal King and Basilisk out, which I've done before, you can banish any of your opponent's problematic cards, and they can't use any other monsters to stop it. So you can really tear apart the board. We got Link Rebo. I got people wondering why I use that card, and it is very useful if your Jackal gets negated and you need to get it off the field. Or if you want to get Jackal into the extra deck so Magister can summon it back for Electromite, it helps that way. Anima is for a similar reason, except if my opponent plays into their zones, I can link it away Jackal to suck them up, and Anima also allows me to use Spellbook of Knowledge as well. If I were to cut a extra deck card, Anima probably would be it, along with 2 others that I'll get to later. But Anima still is pretty good.
I always forget to play around the Anima. Always.
My favorite column is zones 2 and 4, so I always like, oh, it's my favorite column, my favorite zone. Then we got Artemis. She's pretty necessary because Konami loves to put Spellbook of Knowledge in my hand. As the Yu-Gi-Oh community says, this card is glued to my hand. But if you have anything like basically any card that's on the top row of the entire of the 10 cards and Basilisk, which is 11, you can link it to Artemis, so Knowledge can send it away to draw 2, which is pretty useful. And then later on, you could banish it with Axis Go Talker for an extra pop. Crowley, as I mentioned earlier, can search out the 3 spellbook pieces. So if you brick with only pendulums, I actually hear people say that Endymion just bricks a lot, and this deck hardly ever actually bricks. Especially when you get a hand that looks like a brick, Crowley can end up searching out your spellbook cards, which can then guarantee at least 2 spell card activations if you get Blue Boy's Secrets, which means that you can actually trigger your scales if you get Servant, Reflection, or Abductor, which is very good.
They probably brick because they play Astrograph.
That's probably good. Yeah, they probably do, guys. What are you guys doing? Then we got Electromite. Basically, people wonder how this deck is playable without either Astrograph or Electromite. But I actually used this deck in the Triangle event and basically got 6 of 5 negates still without Electromite. Essentially, she's just helpful for consistency. If you can get 2 pendulum monsters, you can get any of your negates out and fix your scales. I basically love her for her scale fixes, but she's still usable without it. You got Masquerena. I used to not go into her as often, but with the inclusion of SP Little Knight, it's been a lot better. SP is on the top there. Basically, SP makes her a double. SP is on the top right. You didn't add her.
I forgot to add her. There's SP,
this
y'all.
whole time.
There she is.
SP Little Knight. Yep. Anyway, yeah. So basically, any 2 of your cards can just end on Masquerena, which can go into IP SP as well. Charmer links now, Lina and Dark. The Charmer links are honestly my favorite links in the entire game. They quickly summon out Selene, and they also give you a little bit more of interaction if your opponent has certain cards like light or dark monsters that you want to be able to utilize. That have negates or anything. It's a little bit of extra improv that you can do, but essentially I use them because you can summon them out, and you can either go into a Selene or you can go into Underworld Goddess, an extra material. You could even use it for summoning out SP Little Knight, which I haven't really done as much. And if you have Servant, Magistro, or Jackal, you can link into Artemis and then link into Lina to summon out a card. I actually used Lina to summon out a Zeus before, and it was my best moment ever. And same thing goes for Dark Charmer. Just summoning out Selene if you can. Alright, Selene is excellent. She's your fuel for the for getting a bunch of counters still, even when Jackal King may be low. Also, she's another negate. She's allows you to reuse your negates. So if you use Endymion to bounce himself to the hand, or bouncing a Jackal King that already negated, Selene removes 3 to summon that back on the field, and it gets his negate back, so it's an extra negate. And something that people don't know about Selene is that you can't even target her for attacks while you have an Endymion card, whether there's a Endymion card on the field at all. So if your opponent tries to go battle phase to attack over her, oh, they can't. They go main phase 2, and then next turn you get to pendulum summon out 3 monsters to Selene's zones for some amazing follow-up. And you'll be surprised at how often that effect of not being able to attack her comes into handy, which allows you to get even better follow-up for next turn. Now we got Avamax. Avamax is there in case your opponent has a monster like Agnister Towers. Not poking fingers at anyone, go to it. But if they summon a monster that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, or they're unaffected, Avamax is your answer to it. So you can attack over anything as long as it's special summoned. It also has a graveyard effect to shuffle back a card on the field into the deck, which could come in handy. I haven't really summoned Avamax in a while, so I'd probably remove it if I could there, but Avamax is still pretty useful for in case the situation arises. We also got Apollo. As I said before, I use Desires in the deck. So if I end up banishing too many Jackal Kings with it, I can still go into Apollo for some extra negates. IP Masquerader can also go into Apollo as well to get more negates on the field too. We got Axis Code Talker here. Basically, it's really good game ender. Typically, Endymion doesn't need it on a healthy board because you can just summon out triple Jackal King and double Endymion. But sometimes you're having to play through a lot of disruptions, which means you're going to have less monsters. But Axis Code still gets you that little push you need. Just beware that Endymion and Axis Code usually is game, but Upstart Goblin makes it not. So do be mindful about if you're going to commit to Axis Code Talker, if you've already used Upstart Goblin.
Sometimes too, the additional pops will come in handy.
Electromites is fire, and Selene is light, so you always get 2 pops with it. And if you would use Artemis or Animal or Crowley earlier, that's an extra pop. So you could even pop 3 or even 4 if you use Apollo as well later on. So it's pretty good. We got Underworld Goddess. Basically, she is an extra deck kaiju. I've actually used her to be able to outboards as well. If you could get 3 monsters on the field, which I've done before, under a massive board of negates, you could usually link it away with your opponent's link too, and they can't really negate it because she's unaffected unless they target her. Basically, if your opponent has a card that you need an answer to, she's always there to help, and I really don't think I could use the deck as comfortably if I didn't have her in the extra deck. So
Alrighty, y'all. So here are the replays. Now here's where we're gonna go over the card by card. Now these matches were for something else, but these are the matches that me and Shadow did for the test hands. The first 3, or sorry, the first 3 are actual test hands. Now we did also have a kind of a match within these test hands, and I did misplay, which we'll talk about. But that way you guys can actually see what this deck looks like in a real duel with the real hands, full transparency. And believe it or not, these hands are not the greatest, so I think it's going to be perfect. Now this last match here, this was just me and Shadow having fun. I destroyed him, even though it says I lost. I destroyed him. Just believe me on that, y'all. Just trust me on that. I destroyed him. But anyways, yeah, trust me, I won that. Even though it says I lost, I won that match, y'all. Anyways, let's go ahead and go over the first replay here. We're going to go over Shadow's side. And Shadow's going to give us the play-by-play. Again, full transparency, y'all. We didn't record and then choose what we're going to show you. We're showing you exactly what has happened in the matches we have. So, of course, I selected to go second. I wasn't playing a going second deck here. This is just strictly for test hands. We weren't having a match. The second match, I think I actually chose to go first to show you a going second kind of test duel. Anyways, give him discard by card shadow.
First off, we scout out for an Ash Blossom with Void, and we don't see it, so we go for the secrets here. Obviously, you want to use Desires as last, but Blue Board, the Spellbook engine, and all, we would risk banishing any of those copies, so we want to use that first. And here, we only use one institution, because Jackal will get it 3 counters. Instead of getting extra 2 counters at institution, now, with institution, Desires, and Garuda, we could actually guarantee that Servant has enough counters to trigger. Without any other cards to gain counters, we use our draw cards.
And
if you want to look at what we banished,
take a look at what you banished.
Yeah, we banished
All
the Endymions.
Almighty Masters are gone, y'all. So this is the reality here. Now, normally he doesn't banish any necessary cards, and I've always said this. Master Duel never banishes the necessary cards in rank. They never banish. They always banish. It's like Sword Soul. They always open their Moye and their long one, and then they banish absolutely nothing from the grave or from the deck. But anyways, in this case, he banished most of his plays here.
Yeah. We banished all 3 Endymions, we banished one of the Jackal Kings, and we banished Reflection, which means that Magistrate can't even turn into another Disruption as well. So we just got 2 more Jackal Kings left in the deck as end piece cards, but we still don't give up here.
Let's see what he does.
So use Mastery first so we can keep on there. We have enough Pendulums in hand as well, so we got to go for Citadel, which is going to give us more counters on the field, and as well as some follow-up. Yeah. And then we can remove 6 counters to get. We hate wasting counters here, so we remove 6 counters to get Jackal King. One of the reasons here is because if Electromite pops a Mythical Beast card, we get extra counters on institutions. Bashless can shuffle back Jackal into the deck to draw a card, and that will trigger Electromite's draw as well. Mastery does not do anything for us.
He's not searching Mighty
but
Master.
Service can. Yeah, that's for sure. We've already used Mastery as well. Now Jackal King works here by summoning up Basilisk. If we tap Garuda, we can get back a high scale, which gives us so many counters on our institutions. And I was under the impression that I could Pendulum summon out Garuda and Basilisk, but be sure to remember that Jackal is also scale 4, and Basilisk and Garuda are level 4, which means you can't actually Pendulum summon them. They have to be between the levels. So unfortunately, we could only get out 2 cards here. Basilisk, or 2 Jackal Kings here. We did send Blue Boy earlier to the graveyard, so we could summon out him. And all our Selene zones are occupied now, which means Magistrate can't summon to them, so we can just link away into IP Masquerena. Here we could have actually summoned out Basilisk as well to go into Chaos Angel, but it's more important to get out a Jackal King negate.
All right, so here, given the fact that you banished a bunch of your negates, what did you actually end with?
So we still have Jackal Kings here, 2 monster negates. We have Call by the Grave for a 3rd. Magistrate can't really summon another Disruption, but it's an extra body on field, so IP Masquerena can link with it. It also link with any of our anything else we summon out. Selene can also summon out Blue Boy from Graveyard, which doesn't really do anything for us right now, but it's extra follow-up as well. If we link away a Jackal King or anything like that, we could get more stuff for next turn if we could go into Axis Kotaku. So it's 3 monster negates and an IP Masquerena, essentially.
3 monster negates, IP Masquerena. So there's definitely still something here. And if you look at my hand, y'all, my hand was not the greatest. We're going to try to play here. But unfortunately, my hand was not the greatest. We went Diabellstar. He did negate this.
Yeah, I negated it because it was going to search a spell card, and we don't have any spell negates. So basically, we have to use our monster negates as spell negates.
And remember, he doesn't know this is in my hand. So that's why he chose. If he would have known it's in my hand, I don't think he would have negated it. Who knows? But I guess he thinks I'm playing Snake Eyes before in rank. Of course, I sent. This is where I misplay. I sent the Rescue Ace Lifter thinking I'd summon from my deck, and that wasn't the case. But he still called by the Grave It. So either way, that misplay wasn't bad.
Anyways, Turbulence from summoning.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he's thinking Turbulence. And so given that even though he negated everything, unfortunately my hand was also not the greatest. So I don't have much left here. We're gonna activate this. We're only doing that so we can send it to the grave for costs. Bring out the hydrant. We go ahead and draw a card here, hoping for one, card in a dream. Fortunately, we get Ash. They do activate this, negating us, and then pretty much that's it. And then now he's BMing.
Oh, I'm trying to get out, show what my deck can still do.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what's in my hand too, so we do Ash that. He also doesn't know what's in my hand, so of course he's getting ready. He's preparing himself. Because in this meta, one card will literally summon your entire deck.
Very true.
He gets out the IP. So y'all, if you think about it, he had two effect negates and then 2 more effect negates plus the Cult by the Grave. Still, considering he banished so much. And guys, in this meta, really, I mean, against Snake Eyes, what do they activate? 2 spells, maybe 3, depending on. And really, you don't negate the Wanted. I mean, if you have the monster effects, you're gonna negate the monster that comes out. So I think 4 negates would have been all right. Of course, I wasn't playing Snake Eyes, and I don't know, and I'm not the opponent. Anyways, we actually. So the guys don't know the secret tech in Rescue Ace, y'all. If you guys actually don't have any cards in your hand and any cards on the field, and you go into Link Karibo, you actually win the game. Or no, your opponent wins the game.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, y'all, that is that hand. So we wanted to show you these are test hands. We're being transparent. He didn't brick, but he did kind of brick. But unfortunately, he sent the wrong cards he banished the wrong cards, which ended up giving him only the 4 monster effect negates.
Not just 4 negates as well, though. If I would have linked Magister and Jaco King away as well, Apollo would have been at 3,200 attack, so it would have been 6 monster negates still, even after everything. But we wanted to value the extra follow-up still, have extra monsters to go into.
I did choose to go I did choose to go first, so Shadow would go second so that we can demonstrate a going second Endymion hand. So I'm going first here, and we're going to go ahead and go through the play so you kind of see my mindset. I think I misplayed just a single time here. I'm going to fast forward. Anyway, we go into cash. We go ahead and get the birth. We go ahead and activate the birth. We're going to go ahead and activate Lifter to search the emergency. We'll use the emergency. We're bringing out the Turbulence. We're going to activate the Turbulence. Now here, I actually had an option. I could have chose to go into the Tomahawk line, which I have Tomahawk in the deck, y'all. But the thing that I was scared of is that if I went into Tomahawk, then my follow-up would be over. And I wouldn't have any more plays. So that was my mindset. Now, I obviously know that Shadow doesn't play Imperm or Effect Veiler, but I don't know that in rank. And we were going to be as kind of real as possible. So I could have gone for Tomahawk. I would be scared of the Effect Veiler or the Imperm, which would cause me to go into Turbulence instead, so I have back row. And even if I went into Tomahawk here, though, yeah, probably would have been the better choice. And anyways, my plans also messed up. The reason I also didn't go for Tomahawk was because the plan was going to be that I was going to go into this, have the back row, and then I was going to be able to go into Auroradon by using Rescue to bring back a monster, but then I realized I clogged up my zones. So unfortunately, I didn't get the Auroradon play. So keep in mind, y'all, normally I would have Auroradon. I could have done Auroradon there, but I clogged up my zones, and that's on me. So we could have stood a chance, but I guess we won't know now. Anyways, I activate the Max C. Go ahead and go Rescue. See, this was the plan. I could have gone into Auroradon. So what I did is I went IP so we could have Unicorn. Alright, Shadow?
If you want to take it off fast forward, it's going to be hard to talk fast. So we scaled both of these, because the strategy here was that I was going to go serve it to summon out Endymion, so I can negate one of the back row still. It also makes it so if he gets rid of one of them, which I was fully expecting too, I still have multiple counters on one of my scales for Endymion to pop.
Now, the reason I didn't go SP Little Knights because I actually haven't updated this deck to add SP Little Knight. So, if you're wondering, that's the only reason SP Little Knight didn't come out instead of Unicorn. I just haven't updated it.
So we're still using all of our draw cards as well. We can't really use... We want to actually draw into any of the other spellbook cards, because then we can still draw 2 without committing to the board. If we summon out Blue Boy, it's either going to get popped or negated. So we want to make sure we can get Endymion's pop effect before we even summon a monster. This is how Endymions can really outpower Snake Rescue Ace, because they don't have to actually put a monster on the field until the Endymion pop happens. Go after both the back row here. Now we can summon out Blue Boy. Here we can go Knowledge Effects, draw 2, which gets us 2 pretty good cards, but we only needed 1 spell card activation to work. Fortunately, we do this, we put a counter on Institution, because we're going to use Reflection to bounce it later on. And his Unicorn cannot be destroyed by card effects due to IP Masquerena, so Reflection's really good for bouncing it to the hand instead. Now Jackal goes first, just so we can get Jackal King on the field. 1 is to negate monster effects, obviously, but 2 is because I get double the counters while it's on the field. Jackal can move 3 counters.
I just realized
we haven't even Pendulum summoned. June to Duel, yep. But that was my last search.
Oh, was it? That's maybe why I didn't realize it. Okay. Like, wait a minute.
We didn't even Pendulum summon yet either. We could have just Link Summon away, go into Electromite, Pendulum Summon again as well for extra damage, but we didn't need it.
Anyway, also, that's Endymion's going second. He always plays through Max C, so if you're picking up this deck, play through Max C. I probably could have had a better board if I had gone for Tomahawk, but my mindset was I was going to go Rorodon, have 2 negates, have a full back row, plus the Max C, but I also clogged my back row up, and that's on me. Alrighty, y'all, and this is the final replay for the showcase of the hands. And of course, Shadow goes first here, but look what I have, y'all. So anyways, again, Shadow plays through Max C. We wanted to be as transparent again, so we actually went through the duel. I think maybe I misplayed once, I think. Anyway, Shadow, walk us through it.
So we start off here, we get Max Seed. I was kind of hoping I could use Void first to draw into a Call by the Grave. It seems like my opponent has a Call by the Grave instead. We always play through Max C. Here we could go Jackal to summon out Jackal King. And when we do that, we actually can get out Monster Negate to make sure Reflection stays useful. So Reflection is going to get us our secondary Pendulum on the field, so we can go to Electromite, I mean. We want to get a high skill out so we can Pendulum summon out, and he uses Ash. Like, we got to go Jackal King here. And right now I'm on my 4th summon.
Again,
because we had Jackal's 1.
I don't know what my mindset was when I activated that. I think I thought I can get Preventer out. I was, I don't know, but it didn't work.
It was a happy accident. But here, we're already at our 4th summon, so if we go into Electromite, we still get Nibiru'd. So we have to still risk it and get out a Jackal King right now.
So y'all
strategy was to get
keep in mind
the extra deck.
Keep in mind, before you say, oh, he could have drew Nibiru. Yes, but at this point, it's either you just pass on nothing or you get nibbed. Oh, and y'all see that draw just in time. We get the Effect Veiler right on time, y'all, for the Electromite. I run Effect Veiler in this deck at 1, by the way.
We were hoping to put Endymion in the extra deck, pop Magister and add back. We could get another draw, and then if we draw into a spell card, Abductor could get another search, so it would have been 4 negates. But, fortunately, we need to go into Celine to get our counters out. Because Pendulum summoning out just 2 Jackal King means we don't have enough counters to negate anything. But this is better than nothing here.
So, y'all, this is under Max C. I was able to stop a few of his plays, plus he didn't get the most amazing hand. And we have a lot here. I don't think I misplayed through any of these plays, though, but we'll find out. Anyways, go ahead and send that. We go ahead and, I don't know what we're searching for, to be honest. We just want more stuff. And I think the only card that seemed beneficial here was Turbulence, obviously. Go ahead and activate this so that we search the Preventer. And activate Preventer. And he has to negate this because once it touches the board, either way he's gonna have to negate it because I'll try to flip it face down. We activate this, able to bring back one of our banished cards. We use this to go into IP Masquerena. Go ahead and use this to go into Nightmare Unicorn. Go ahead and activate this. We send the old line. We try to spin that, and there's his 2 negates. They are gone. We go ahead and activate this. Now, I guess I could have put in attack mode, but it wouldn't have made much difference. Now, my mindset here, yo, when I went into access code, is I actually thought I had more pops than I actually did. I don't know. My mindset was I wanted to pop his back row, and it turned out that I only had 1 negate. So that, I mean, 1 pop. So there's kind of where I misplayed a bit. Is I thought I was going to be able to pop both of the scales at the on the back, and unfortunately we didn't have it. So, all right, Shadow.
Gonna take it off. Fast forward here. Joined it here. He goes Ash Blossom, but we still got a Dragon King in the gate right now.
And I actually
The
forgot that
strategy
he had
here,
that.
yeah. I kind of wanted to bait out an Imprim here right now so that I could so link away into our use it up right now. We can link away into Apollo and then special summon it back on the field. But that was still put one of the scales negated, but it's still fine here. So since he used that spell card, we get enough counters for everything, and then he uses another spell card. I'm thinking, oh hey, even more counters. Lovely.
Oh, my mindset here, y'all. Here's another misplay. My mindset was I forgot that I played Preventer at one in this deck. So my mindset was Preventer, but even then, it wasn't gonna do much for me because I was still gonna have to send a Rescue Ace monster to the grave.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I created this trap to pop my monster. And I was thinking, you just freed up Celine's scale, right? Celine's pendulum arrow, the link arrow to summon pendulum monsters. We want to make sure we can negate whatever that back row is. We think maybe it might be an Imprim, but as long as this resolves through, we can summon out everything just fine. The Reflection can just out the Axis Kotako like nothing. And even if he wanted to target Reflection to negate it, I still wouldn't negate that, because I want, if that's Imprim face down, I want to still be able to negate that too.
And my mindset was I didn't
make...
want him going for access code, not realizing that he had more than enough.
Mm-hmm. We'll make sure we have enough counters and everything before we go into our Endymion plays. But also, this is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. Yeah, 9 cards that we could pop if he had a full board, which is pretty crazy altogether. But there's only 3. If you didn't know, 2 Endymions and a Jockey King is a perfect 8,000.
Nice GG's, y'all. Now I misplayed a little bit, but even looking at those misplays now, I don't think anything could have happened. So, but y'all, that is the test hands there. Again, this last match, just believe when I say I destroyed him. Just believe me. Just believe me. Take my word for it.
Copium.
I don't lie. So, he just got literally obliterated.
I got sent to my own realm, the Shadow Realm.
Exactly. So that's going to be it for the video. Again, as always, appreciate Shadow, always willing to make these videos with me. He's got his own YouTube, like I said at the beginning of the video. So he actually produces his own videos, but he's still willing to produce content for this channel, as we have a lot of people that have subscribed to this channel due to Endymion. So we want to keep the Endymion content going, as well as, in the same time promoting his channel. You also, again, go check him out. Check out the kind of content he uploads. It's still Endymions. It's all Endymions. But it's way different than the content I upload, and it's a little more raw, I would like to think. So go check that out, see what you think. Make sure you subscribe to him and follow him on Twitch. Y'all follow me on Master Duel. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you would follow me on Twitch, join the Discord. We have a tournament June 22nd. It's free to join. Make sure you sign up for that. No prize money, just bragging rights. But make sure to join. It's again free. You don't have to join Discord for it. It's going to be in the description, but it just makes it easier if you join the Discord. So Shadow, again, thank you so much for working with me on this, and y'all stay tuned for the Endymion and Master Rank series coming soon.
Thanks again for having me on the channel here. It's always nice to be able to show off Endymion stuff. Been using this deck for the last 5 years. I've been seeing a lot of people say that this deck just bricks a lot, and while the deck can have some average hands that can be really fixed pretty easily, so I'm just glad to show that even with some dire circumstances like banishing everything with desires or getting several cards in hand that you don't want to see, the deck can still perform very well, especially going second, because people think that this deck can't go second at all, or they think that the deck can't even function without Electromite, which I've shown it doesn't need Electromite as much as you might think. If anyone is interested in seeing more Endymion duels, on my channel, I post every rank climb on my YouTube channel. I stream on Twitch every weekend, but everything goes onto my channel, all the way from Diamond 5 all the way to Master 1, and I do post the select duels that are the best to watch, so do check those out. If anyone's thinking that I just do another deck off screen, I every single time I went climb, I used the same deck without editing it for the last year or so. So go check those out because I usually just upload Mondays and Fridays streams and regular duels. So thanks again, and I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Again, we really appreciate you. I'm sure the community does. And again, y'all, that last duel that we didn't show you, I won. Just take my word for it, okay?
Dream on.
Yeah. There's a, I guess there'll never be any proof, but I'm sure I won. I won.
No.
You know.
Yeah, in your dreams, you won.
Shadow Jesus watching you.
That's true. That's very true.
But alrighty, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow Shadow. Join the Discord, y'all. Y'all can talk to Shadow in the Discord. He's always there. He's actually one of the mods in the Discord. So if y'all have questions for him, come join the dang Discord. We're back, baby. So, all right, y'all. Love y'all, and I'll catch you on the next one.